Zara stood at the observation deck of Epsilon 7 and watched the humans below with narrowed crimson eyes. Her silver skin reflected the station lights as she crossed her arms over her chest. These creatures were so small and fragile compared to her people. The Vexithari had conquered stars when humans were still learning to make fire. She wondered why Commander Kress insisted on these diplomatic meetings. Danny Carter wiped grease from his hands and checked the power core readings again. The numbers looked wrong. He had worked on Epsilon 7 for 2 years and knew every system. Something bad was building inside the main reactor. He ran toward the command center. Zara turned when alarms began screaming through the station. Red lights flashed everywhere. Her superior training kicked in and she moved toward the crisis center. Humans were running and shouting. Such chaos. Her people would never panic like this. The station commander addressed everyone in the room. The power core was going critical. They had maybe 30 minutes before it exploded. 12,000 beings lived on Epsilon 7. The blast would kill them all. Zara stepped forward. Vexithari technology was superior. She could fix this. But when she examined the system, she felt something unfamiliar. Confusion. The human technology was too different. Her tools would not interface. Her knowledge meant nothing here. Danny pushed through the crowd. He knew what needed to be done. Someone had to enter the core chamber and manually reset the containment fields. The radiation inside would kill whoever went in. But if nobody went, then everyone died. Zara watched as this young human volunteered. He looked afraid. His hands shook. Yet he moved toward the chamber anyway. This made no sense to her. Why would he throw away his life for strangers? Vexithari valued survival above all. The weak died so the strong could live. This was natural order. Danny sealed his environmental suit and entered the airlock. Zara followed to the monitoring station. She watched screens showing him climb down into the reactor core. Radiation meters climbed into red zones. Alarms warned that exposure levels were fatal. The human kept moving. He reached the containment controls and began the reset sequence. His hands moved slower now. The radiation was cooking him from inside. Zara saw burns appearing on his exposed neck. He gasped in pain but continued working. Something twisted inside Zara's chest. An unfamiliar sensation. She had seen death before. She had killed enemies herself. But watching this human suffer while saving others created feelings she could not name. Her people called emotions weakness. They had evolved past such things. Yet now she wondered if they had lost something important. Danny collapsed against the controls. The reset was only halfway complete. He tried to stand, but his legs would not obey. Through the monitors, Zara heard him laugh. A strange broken sound. He was dying and he laughed. Zara made her decision in one heartbeat. She ran toward the airlock. Other Vexithari tried to stop her. Commander Kress ordered her to stand down. She ignored them all. Her hands flew over the controls and she overrode the safety locks. The airlock opened and she jumped inside. Her biology was stronger than human. She could survive the radiation longer. Not forever, but longer. She dropped down into the core chamber and found Danny slumped against the wall. His eyes widened when he saw her. She grabbed his arm and pulled him to the controls. Together they worked. Her hands moved where he pointed. He told her which buttons to press. His voice was weak but determined. The containment fields began stabilizing. The reactor core hummed back to normal levels. Green lights replaced red. They had done it. Zara felt Danny collapse against her. She caught him before he fell. His weight was nothing to her strength. She carried him toward the ladder. Every step hurt now. The radiation was affecting even her enhanced body. Her silver skin was turning dark in places. But she climbed, one hand holding Danny, one hand pulling them both upward. She would not fail. Not now. They emerged from the core and medical teams rushed forward. Zara laid Danny on a stretcher and then her own legs gave out. Strong hands caught her. Everything went dark. She woke in the medical bay. Her body ached everywhere. Vexithari healed fast, but radiation damage took time. She turned her head and saw Danny in the next bed. Machines surrounded him. His injuries were worse than hers. But he was alive. 2 days passed before he woke. Zara had stayed in the medical bay even after she could walk. She told herself it was because the doctors required observation. But she knew the truth. She wanted to see him wake up. His eyes opened and found her immediately. He smiled. That strange human expression that showed teeth. Among her people, showing teeth meant aggression. But his smile was different, warm, genuine. He asked if she was all right. This confused her. He nearly died. His body was broken. Yet his first words were concern for her. She asked why he cared, why he went into the reactor, why he risked everything. Danny was quiet for a moment. Then he said because people needed help. Because he could do something when others could not. Because every life mattered. Even strangers. Even aliens who looked down on humans. Zara felt that twist in her chest again. Stronger now. She understood what it was. Her people had forgotten this feeling over centuries of evolution. They called it weakness and bred it away. But it was not weakness. It was the most powerful force in the universe. She told Danny that her people were wrong, that humans understood something Vexthari had lost. He asked what that was. She struggled to find the word in human language. Finally, she said humanity. The word felt right. Commander Kress came to the medical bay. He ordered Zara to return home. The diplomatic mission was over. She had disgraced herself by acting emotionally, by risking Vexthari life for humans. She would face judgment. Zara stood and faced her commander. She said no, a simple word, one she had never spoken to a superior before. She was staying here. She wanted to learn more about humans, about their strength that came from caring, about their courage born from love. Kress warned her that she would be exiled. She could never return home. Her name would be erased. She would lose everything she had known. Zara looked at Danny and then back at Kress. She said some things were worth losing everything for. The commander left. Zara sat back down beside Danny's bed. He asked if she was sure about her choice. She nodded. For the first time in her life, she was completely sure about something. Days turned to weeks. Both of them healed. Zara learned about human customs. She tried their food and found it strange but interesting. She watched their entertainment and did not understand their jokes at first, but slowly she began to see the world through human eyes. Danny showed her around the station. He introduced her to other humans. They were cautious at first. A Vexthari warrior was dangerous, but they saw how she looked at Danny, how she smiled when he spoke. They accepted her. She learned that humans argued and disagreed. They had conflicts and problems. They were not perfect, but they tried. They cared. They reached out to help each other, even when it cost them, even when it hurt. One evening they stood at the observation deck where Zara had first watched humans with disdain. Now she stood beside Danny and looked at the stars differently. He asked what she was thinking. She said she was thinking about home, about how empty it seemed now. Danny took her hand. The gesture surprised her. Physical contact was rare among Vexthari, but his touch felt natural. Right. He said that home was not a place. It was people. It was connection. She could build a new home here if she wanted. Zara looked down at their joined hands, silver and pale pink, alien and human, different in every way, yet somehow fitting together. She realized that she had been alone her entire life. Her people valued individual strength. They did not build bonds like this. They did not need others, but need was the wrong word. Danny did not need her. She did not need him. They chose each other. That choice meant everything. It was the foundation of what made humans special. They chose to care. They chose to connect. They chose love over survival. She told Danny that she wanted to stay. Not because she had nowhere else to go, but because she wanted to be here, with him, learning about humanity, building something new. He smiled again. That warm expression that she now understood. She tried to smile back. It felt awkward. Her face was not made for it. But Danny laughed and said it was perfect. She was perfect. Months passed. Zara took a position on the station as a security officer. Her Vexthari strength and training made her valuable. But more than that, she learned to protect people not because it was duty, but because she cared about them. Danny continued his engineering work. They lived in adjacent quarters. They spent their free time together, walking through the station, sharing meals, talking about everything and nothing. She had never known life could be this way. Other Vexthari heard about her exile. Some sent messages calling her traitor. Others sent quiet notes of curiosity. She was not the first to question their ways, but she might be the first to actually leave and find something better. One night, Danny asked if she regretted her choice. She thought about everything she had lost. Her rank, her people, her place in Vexthari society. Then she thought about everything she had gained: friends, purpose, connection, love. She told him no. She regretted nothing. He had shown her what it meant to be truly alive. Not just surviving, not just being strong, but living with an open heart, even when it hurt. Even when it was